Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, July 20th, 2023. We are about to do a live, in-depth planetary puja using the chart of now, based on my current location in the state of New Mexico in the USA. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and priestess and an AstroVed astrologer. And I'm very happy to be hosting this program Monday through Friday on this channel. Dr. Pillai has said the planets and stars are more than just objects in outer space. There is a divine light being associated with each of them. In doing the puja, we are connecting with some of these light beings, and we are inviting their positive blessings to flow into us and also into our world. To do the puja, I'm using the South Indian style layout of the chart. I have drawn the chart in chalk on a little blackboard that's laying flat on a side table here. Also for the puja, I have a small container of water, a lit tea light, an incense stick, a bell, a raisin, and a bowl of fresh flower petals. To start, I take some of the water and I sprinkle a few drops of water on all four sides of the blackboard to purify the space where the puja is being performed. I also sprinkle a few drops of water on my own head, and I send a few drops of water out into space towards all of you, so that all of us are symbolically purified before going into the puja. Now, we start with invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles. Om Shring Gam, Om Shring Gam, Om Shring Gam. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja, and I ask him to remove obstacles in the lives of all the participants, in the physical, mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual areas of our lives. I ask him to remove obstacles for all of us, now and always. And I thank Ganesha for his help with this. Now we do a short Tamil chant, asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial today towards us and towards our world. We thank St. Gnanasamunda for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now, we turn our attention towards the time elements that are active in my local area. We start with the planet that rules the day. Today is Thursday, ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put flower petals on him on the blackboard chart. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the star that the moon is in. Right now, the moon is in a star called Magha, a star of royalty consciousness and high self-esteem. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Maghaye Namaha. Om Maghaye Namaha. Om Maghaye Namaha. Next, we honor the Tithi, or the moon phase. Right now, in my area, we are in the third waxing moon, which is called Tritya in Sanskrit. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Tritya Devye Namaha. Om Tritya Devye Namaha. Om Tritya Devye Namaha. Next, we honor the planet ruling the hour. In my local area, this is Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we acknowledge the yoga and the Karana time elements. Dr. Pillai said for these we would not use flower petals. We would say their names in Sanskrit 3 times each. The yoga that's active right now is one called Vyatipata, which has energies of adversity. Vyatipata, Vyatipata, Vyatipata. And the Karana that's active right now is one called Garija, which has energies of increased effort. Garija, Garija, Garija. Now, we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. We start with looking at the sign that is the ascendant, symbolized here with the letters AC. The ascendant, or the sign coming up on the eastern horizon in my local area right now, is Karkataka, or Cancer. Dr. Pillai said we start with honoring the planet that rules the ascendant sign as a gesture to his importance at the moment. The zodiac sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon. We honor the moon, and I put flower petals on him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Now, starting in the sign of Cancer, we're going to go around the chart in a clockwise direction, stopping in each sign that has 1 or more planets in it. Today, in the sign of Cancer is the Sun and also Mercury. We start with honoring the Sun. I put flower petals on the Sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The Sun is in a star called Pooja, a star that is the most spiritually auspicious of all the stars. I put the flower petals on the Sun. Om Pushaye Namaha. Om Pushaye Namaha. Om Pushaye Namaha. Pushya's star is ruled by Brihaspati, a form of Jupiter in which he's a very high spiritual teacher, sometimes teaching even to the gods. I put the flower petals on the Sun. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Pushya's star is ruled by Saturn. I put flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor Mercury for being in Cancer. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Mercury is in a star called Aslesha, a star that gives blessings for mystical power. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Asleshaye Namaha. Om Asleshaye Namaha. Om Asleshaye Namaha. Aslesha star is ruled by the Nagas, archetypes who are ancient beings who know secrets about cycles of time and have great wisdom. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Nagasye Namaha. Om Nagasye Namaha. Om Nagasye Namaha. Aslesha star is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is sitting in a star he rules. He's comfortable for that. I put flower petals on Mercury because he's the one that rules the Aslesha star. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkataka or Cancer, the most emotionally sensitive of all the zodiac signs, today containing the sun, which is our soul, and also a planet so important for our health and our self-esteem, and Mercury, planet of communication, business, planet that helps with our sense of humor, and also a planet that helps us in managing all the details of our daily life. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Simha or Leo, which today contains the moon and Venus and Mars. So we have 3 planets in the sign of the lion. And last night I dreamt about 3 lions. So I thought it was funny that today there were 3 planets here. So we start, all 3 of them are in the same star today. We start with honoring the moon, which is the one that's at the lowest degree in Leo. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Next, we honor Venus for being in Leo. I put flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Next, we honor Mars, fiery planet in a fire sign in Leo. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. The moon, Venus, and Mars are all in a star called Magha, a star symbolized as a palanquin. This is a star that can give blessings for royalty consciousness and high self-esteem. I put the flower petals across the moon, Venus, and Mars. Om Maghaye Namaha. Om Maghaye Namaha. Om Maghaye Namaha. Magha star is ruled by the Pitris, ancestors who have moved into higher planes of light and are able to send us their blessings. Om Pitrisye Namaha. Om Pitrisye Namaha. Om Pitrisye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Magha star, which is Ketu. I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Leo, which is the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. So today, the moon is sitting in Cancer, which is ruled by the sun, and the moon is sitting in Leo, which is ruled by the sun, and the sun is sitting in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So each of them is sitting in a sign that's ruled by the other one. So there is a special name for that, Parivartana Yoga. And when two planets are each sitting in the sign ruled by the other one, it's an auspicious thing, as they have a kind of a mutual agenda to be mutually supporting of each other. Like if I was renting an apartment that you owned and you were renting an apartment that I owned, we would each be taking care of the apartment because we want the other guy taking care of our apartment, like that. So the sun and the moon have an especially nice connection today. I just wanted to point that out. So we're pausing for a moment, reflecting on Simha or Leo, a sign of power, today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions, Venus, planet of love and happiness, enjoyment of material comforts and the arts, and Mars, planet of courage and willpower, a planet that is both a healer and a protector. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Tula or Libra, which today contains Ketu. I put flower petals on Ketu. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Chitra, a star that can give blessings for creativity and craftsmanship. Om Chitraye Namaha. Om Chitraye Namaha. Om Chitraye Namaha. Chitra star is ruled by Twashtar, an archetype who is a divine master craftsman. I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Twashtarye Namaha. Om Twashtarye Namaha. Om Twashtarye Namaha. Chitra star is ruled by Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now, we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. I put flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a zodiac sign that gives blessings for balance, fairness, harmony, today containing Ketu, who is sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto, who is retrograde and extra powerful. I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttara Ashada, a star that can give blessings for long-lasting success. We ask this star to bless us with long-lasting success. I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttar Shadaye Namaha. Om Uttar Shadaye Namaha. Om Uttar Shadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 archetypes who each embody a unique divine universal principle. The principle of goodness, ruled by Vara. The principle of truth, ruled by Satya. The principle of willpower, ruled by Kratu. The principle of skillfulness, including ritual skill, ruled by Daksha. The principle of time, ruled by Kala. The principle of desire, ruled by Kama. The principle of firmness and forbearance, ruled by Driti. The principle of the ancestors, ruled by Kuru. The principle of abundance and brightness, ruled by Pururur Avasa. I may not have that pronunciation perfect yet. I'll work on that one. The principle of summit and peak of joy, Madravas. So we're invoking blessings from all 10 of these archetypes. And I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasyes Namaha. Om Visvadevasyes Namaha. Om Visvadevasyes Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. I put flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara, or Capricorn, a zodiac sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities. Today containing Pluto, a planet that Dr. Pillai says can help with rationality and science. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Kumbha, or Aquarius, which today contains Saturn, who is also retrograde and extra powerful. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Satabisha, a star that can give blessings for healing and also interest in esoteric subjects. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Satabishaye Namaha. Om Satabishaye Namaha. Om Satabishaye Namaha. Satabisha's star is ruled by Varuna, archetype who rules the rain and the oceans. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Varunaye Namaha. Om Varunaye Namaha. Om Varunaye Namaha. Satabisha's star is ruled by Rahu. I put flower petals on Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aquarius, which is Saturn. So right now Saturn is sitting in one of the signs he rules. He's very comfortable when he's visiting a sign he rules. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kumbha, or Aquarius, the most humanitarian of all the zodiac signs, today containing Saturn, planet of patience, compassion, service, planet of structure, organization, discipline. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Meena, or Pisces, which today contains Neptune, who is also retrograde. So we have 3 retrograde planets all in a row here. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada, a star that Dr. Pillai says can give blessings for business development. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. I put the flower petals, no, he's ruled first by the archetype. The archetype that rules Uttara Bhadrapada star is Ayurbundia, an archetype who, among other things, can help to guard treasures and valuables. We ask him to guard our treasures and valuables, and we ask him to help with guarding and protecting the valuable that is the planet Earth itself. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. I put flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Now, we honor the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter. I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena, or Pisces, a zodiac sign that is the most metaphysical and transcendental. Today containing Neptune, planet that Dr. Pillai says can help with our intuition and also with understanding our own inner life. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Misha, or Aries, which today contains Rahu and Jupiter and Uranus. All 3 of those planets are in different stars, so we honor them separately. I start with Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Rahu is in a star called Ashwini, a star that can give blessings for healing and for speed. I put the flower petals on Rahu. Om Ashwini Namaha. Om Ashwini Namaha. Om Ashwini Namaha. Ashwini star is ruled by the Ashwini Kumaras, horse-headed twins who have tremendous healing energies, so much so that their nickname is physician to the gods. I put the flower petals on Rahu. Om Ashwini Kumarsye Namaha. Om Ashwini Kumarsye Namaha. Om Ashwini Kumarsye Namaha. Ashwini star is ruled by Ketu. I put flower petals on Ketu. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Next, we honor Jupiter for being in Aries. I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Bharani, a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine Shakti, or power. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Bharani Namaha. Om Barnihe Namaha. Om Barnihe Namaha. Barney's star is ruled by Yama, an archetype of justice. We ask him to help us to be just and merciful towards others, and we ask for there to be justice in our world. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Barney's star is ruled by Venus. I put flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor Uranus for being in Aries. I put flower petals on him. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Uranus is in a star called Kritika, a star that gives blessings for truth. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Kritika's star is ruled by Agni, archetype who rules the fire element and can give blessings for positive transformation and purification. I put the flower petals on Uranus. Om Agnihe Namaha. Om Agnihe Namaha. Om Agnihe Namaha. Kritika's star is ruled by the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries, which is Mars. I put flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha, or Aries, a fire sign with very active energy, today containing Rahu, planet that helps us to think outside the box. Jupiter, planet that helps with spirituality and with wealth and with optimism. Uranus, planet that helps with creative abilities, success in life, higher intelligence, and astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I take a lit tea light, I hold it in the right hand, and I hold it above the blackboard that has the chart drawn in chalk and the many piles of flower petals. And in the air, I circle the tea light above the chart and around it in a clockwise direction 3 times, offering all these divine beings we've just invoked, the element of light. Next, I take a lit incense stick to offer the air element and a sweet fragrance, and I circle this around the chart in the air 3 times in a clockwise direction. Now I take a bell to offer the element of sound. Now I take a raisin, a small fruit representing the earth element, and I circle this above the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction. And later in the day, I will eat that raisin as a piece of prasad or blessed food. Now I make prayer hands, and I make sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking each of them to send their positive blessings into the lives of each of us and into the lives of our families, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools, our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire world. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. I ask for blessings for all of my teachers, past, present, and to come. And I ask for blessings for all of my students, past, present, and to come. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your own prayers in silence for a minute, and then we have time for a short Q&A. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Thank you all so much for joining us. I truly appreciate your participation and your support. I see Van asking, can you tell more about the principles you mentioned? Yes, we talked about how Pluto is in the star of Uttarashada, which is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas. These are 10 archetypes who each embody a unique divine universal principle. And they each have a name. I gave you the list of the principles that they embody. And so there's 10 of them. And when we invoke them, we're invoking blessings from all 10 of them. So these qualities are ones that we may want to look at, cultivating a bit more inside ourselves. The quality of goodness, the quality of truth, quality of willpower, the quality of skillfulness, including ritual skill, the quality of time, managing our time well, learning about the time elements, the principle of desire. We have to have authentic desire to be able to manifest. And part of what we're learning here in being in an earth incarnation is learning to manifest our desires, to have healthy desires, positive desires, and to learn how to manifest them. So that's an important energy for us to make friends with. The energy of firmness and forbearance, the energy to be a bit calm. Firmness is an ability to be perhaps not reacting emotionally at every situation. Forbearance, the ability perhaps to not be getting triggered easily. Those are qualities that are together, firmness and forbearance. Ancestors, having respect for the ancestors, being mindful to pray for our ancestors to move up into higher planes of light, because from there, they can send blessings into us and into the whole family lineage. Abundance and brightness, that's definitely a divine principle. God is abundant. God is not poor. God is not cheap. God is not dull or dim. God is a very bright energy. So for us to look at, do we have a smile on our face? Are we being a bright being? And do we live with abundance? Do we understand the principle of abundance, that health is wealth? That's one form of abundance. Abundance, the ability to have your needs met, to have some surplus to share with others. And the principle of summit and the peak of joy, the ability to be living in a very high state of happiness, to be living in bliss. The energy of light is a very happy energy. And if we are filled with light, we have a happy energy in our heart. So those are some simple riffs, I guess, on those 10 principles. So each of these is embodied by a particular archetype, and I'm sure each of these archetypes have their stories as well, mythotherapy stories, but I won't have time today to go into that. I can try to read up on some of these, because Pluto's going to be sitting in that star for a long time, because he's retrograde, and then I'll have to go direct again. So we might as well learn a little bit more about some of these 10 Visvadevas. So I'll read up on them, and then maybe starting next week, I'll start to maybe tell a story about, one of them at a time, as we do the puja, so that we think of them as a real energy and not just, doing something robotically with the chanting. That's a good question. Okay, I see Pedro saying he has a Nadi reading tomorrow, and please pray for it to be auspicious. It will be an auspicious reading, Pedro. The one tip I can give you is when the Nadi reader is, saying a question to you, just answer that question yes or no, unless later he gives you room, he or she gives you room to be asking questions. The reason for this is the Nadi reader will be in a very high state of attention to be able to look at the leaves and read the different possibilities that are in the leaf. So if he's saying, is your mother's name this and your father's name this, and you have this many sisters, let's say, just answer it yes or no. If he's asking a question like, are you employed? Just answer it yes or no. Don't give him a story like, well, I was employed, but then I lost my job, but I'm looking for a job, because all of that is going to take his consciousness down. He needs to just have a very binary answer as he's helping with the leaf identification. So keep it yes or no, like a 1 or a 0 on the computer, so that he's able to be doing what he's doing, because he's in a different state of consciousness. He's in a different operating system. And so we have to be very respectful of that and to kind of help protect that consciousness for him. So that's the one suggestion I can give you like that. Okay, but it'll be wonderful because you'll be finding your leaf. And although sometimes it can be challenging with the Nadi to hear about a thing that we did in a past life that wasn't good, and that thing is still casting a stain into our current incarnation, it can give us an aha moment. Okay, now I understand why this area of my life has been kind of screwed up, because I did something a long time ago that has triggered that to be into motion. But the really good news with the Nadi, and the reason Dr. Pillai asks us to do Nadis from time to time, is the Nadi will have the remedy suggestions. And it's important to get the remedies done, because that's going to clear that stain from the past life, so you don't have that shadow hanging over you all the time. And so whether you do the Nadi remedies in person or whether you're having them done by proxy, that's going to create a good shift for you, and it'll help put you on a more positive timeline for this incarnation. So the Nadi is a very happy experience. So wonderful, Pedro. We wish you well with that. And yeah, we hope you enjoy your journey into a deeper part of your consciousness with the Nadi experience. Let's see here. People saying thank you. Melissa saying your stories are always helpful, Swamini. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Van is saying thank you for the talk about the Visvadevas. And Catherine is saying to Pedro, so exciting. Prepare to have your life changed. So this is a testimonial from someone else who's had nadi done, that it does create positive shift in your life to do the nadi and then to have the remedies done. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. I had one announcement, which is that Saturday I will be on Ronnie's program on Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Saturday is July 22nd in North America, which is the feast of Mary Magdalene. And Ronnie is going to be presenting some information about the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. She'll be talking about her. And at the end of it, I will be doing a hydration ceremony that includes Mary Magdalene and Jesus and Yahweh and Mother Mary, and also giving an opportunity for people to take some water and do a little self-baptism as well. So I will be on her program on Religion of Religions channel, and that will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time on July 22nd. And you're all invited. If you have time, it would be lovely to have you there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out for today. Namaste. The light in me truly honors the light in all of you. May light encompass all. May you have a wonderful day or evening, as the case may be. Namaste.